Hello and welcome to another video, and in this one we're starting a new series, Should I Buy?, where I'm going to take a look at a newly announced mech, go through its stats, go through my opinions on it, and give you a quick rundown of whether or not it's actually a good purchase, and if it will be strong in the game, and what roles it could take, and what it can do. And I'm going to go over a few things here. We're going to go over pod space, which is the available tonnage you have for weapons. It's kind of only applicable for clan omni-mechs, but we can also talk about that in relation to IS mechs, the different hardpoints that are available, possible hitboxes based on its concept art, if it's pay to win, some possible builds that I am looking forward to, say, trying on it, and whether or not you should buy it for money, buy it for C-bills, or give it a pass, because there are other mechs in the game that do the same thing better or easier or already do it, and you don't really need another one to do it. So tonight we're going to be looking at the Linebacker. It was just announced today. First thing to look at is the concept art, and the hero is pretty interesting. It's got this skull on it, the green flames, it's got the, what is its name, the red line, so it's maybe a concept of racing. They want to push that this mech is a fast mech, so they painted it red. How appropriate. The one I do really enjoy is the special variant that you get for getting the collector's pack. Wow, I really like this polygonal camo. I'm going to run that for sure. I'd love to see that actually on a lot of mechs, and then of course, the standard one. And, that's how it is. First, let's take a look at what you get in the different packs. So the standard pack, the collector's pack. Standard pack is the three normal mechs, the Prime A and the B. And the collector's pack, same thing, but it also has an additional Prime with 30% C-bill bonus. Mech Bay is premium time, war horns, cockpit items, badges, titles, all that kind of stuff. We have the add-on packs, $15 for a hero, and $15 for an additional two variants, the C and the D, with mech bays. Very standard for these packages that they've been putting out recently. And then the ultimate pack, which is just everything added up together. First thing let's talk about is pod space. So I've actually done some theory crafting with this mech in the past, and I have all of its very detailed specifics here in my spreadsheets. So the Linebacker is a 65-ton clan omni-mech heavy. It's got a 390 XL engine, which weighs 30 tons, and that gives us a top speed of 97.2, which is the engine rating divided by the tonnage that it has to move times 16.2. And 97.2, and that concurs with the 97.2 that they have on here. So that's how you're calculating it. Tweaked, it's got 104.5, which is the 97.2 times 107.5%. Structure, which is rounded, 3.25. Weight, a full armor on the mech would just be just shy of 11 tons. And it has 4 tons of fixed equipment. These are heat sinks that are stuck into the engine. They won't take an additional critical slots, but they are there. In total, the mech is going to have approximately 16.8 tons of pod space available. Of course, with a little bit of armor shaving, you can get this a bit higher to say 17 or 17.5, but its pod space will be 26%. If we look at that in comparison to other mechs, we can see the Linebacker here at 17%, and, not 17%, 26%, 17 tons as its rounded space. And we can look at some of the other clan chassis, clan omni-mechs that are similar to that. There's the Adder at 16.5, there's the Shadowcat at 16, there's the what do we got here? The Gargoyle at 20, the Nova at 15.5. When we take a look at that on a graph here, we can see where the Linebacker is falling in here. It's below the Hellbringer, where the Hellbringer is 23.5. The Ebon Jaguar is 28.5. And you can see it as at the very bottom of the heavies in terms of available pod space for any equipment you choose to bring. We head back to the specs here. We can take a look at hardpoints. We're going to look at this in 3 stages. There's going to be the basic package, the reinforcements, and then the hero, and what hardpoint combinations those give you. So we got this set up here. We can see the different chassis at the top, and we can see all the hardpoints down here at the bottom. So with just the basic package, these first 3 mechs, you can have a max of 6 energy hardpoints at once, with the Bravo arm, then the Bravo torso, the Alpha torso, and any one of the other arms, as they all have 1 energy. You can do a combination of 2 missile, 1 in each side torso, and you have access to a single ballistic in your right torso. So with these hardpoints, what can you do? Well, 6 energy could be enough for, say, 6 medium pulse. That's similar to what I do on my Catapult Jester, and he has an XL350 engine. You would be doing the same kind of thing. You would be moving quickly, shooting with some energy weapons, disengaging, and circling around as you cooled off and attacked from another angle. There isn't really enough missile hardpoints to do any sort of splat with this, as you only have 2. Generally, you want to have, say, 3+ in order to start doing some short-range missiles. You could do LRMs, but with only 17-ish tons, you don't really have the weight for a lot of missile and ammo and all that kind of stuff. All the backup equipment that comes with LRMs, the tag, the Beagle Active Probe, all that stuff, you probably won't have enough weight for it. You could also do the 1 large ballistic and energy builds, so like a Gauss rifle in this side torso here, in the right torso, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 energy, 4 medium lasers, and a Gauss rifle. That kind of thing. So you can do some okay builds with the standard package, with the ability to swap around these omnipods. But let's see what adding on the reinforcement package does for your ability to do specific builds. Instantly we can see here with a Charlie, with 3 energy in the left torso, that your ability to do energy-based builds increases. Now instead of just being able to do 6, you can do 8. And that's kind of important, because that's, 6 is probably good for like medium pulse, or like mediums. If you want to be like really heat efficient, just do 6 mediums. But you start getting to sort of 8 or higher, you can start thinking about, say, small pulses or small lasers and mass doing those. That's cool. Also, you have the access to additional missile hardpoints. You can start thinking about doing splat builds. The Delta has missiles, 2 missiles in each arm. So you can have a total of 6 missile hardpoints now. So you can do like 6 SERM-4s and a few tons of ammo, probably put you on your Artemis, really enjoy that, and go and splat some people. You'll be going at 104 kph, so you'll be able to flank people, you'll be able to get up close, and unleash some short-range missile hell. Also, you could just have a combination of energy missile. You could have the 2 missiles in each arm, then you can do the 3 energy in the side torso here, and the 2 energy in a missile in that side torso there. So you can have 5 missile, 5 energy. That's a nice balanced build. 5 smalls, 5 SERM-4s, go along with that. You could figure out some way to make that work into a nice short-range striker. Also, we have an additional ballistic in the right torso, so 2 ballistic there, and a ballistic in the right arm. So now you can get that ballistic with a arm actuator, and you can move it around and be a bit more accurate with it than just in the torso of the Bravo. So if you want to increase your options, the reinforcements do that. They allow you to have a little bit more flexibility in how you're going to design. To further say that, the red line, the hero, gives options that are nowhere along all the other variants. So while everybody else does not have a single ballistic in the left side, the red line does in its left arm. So if you wanted to be a left side based build with a ballistic, you have to get the red line. Otherwise, you have to get the basic package to get in the torso, but if you want it in the arm, you have to get the Charlie. Also, with the red line, you get the 3 energy in the right torso, which allows you to get up to a total of 9 energy. 2 in the left arm, 3 in the left torso, 3 in the right torso, and then just 1 in the right arm. So then you can start doing sort of like 9 small laser builds and that kind of stuff. So while I wouldn't say maybe they're pay to win, because you can do decent enough builds with the standard package, it's definitely, as one person I saw on Reddit put it, pay to optimize. If you wanted a left-based or a right-based build, you would have to purchase different levels of packages in order to get access to the Omnipods that would do so. Specifically, these stronger, slightly stronger, kind of slightly pay to win left torso and right torsos with energy hardpoints, with the additional one, like in all of the add-on mechs that you'd have to buy additional packages for. Where these guys are only going to have 1 energy in each of those sides, you get 6 energy in total on those sides. And that is important because we're going to go back up to the top and look at the possible hardpoints, locations, and hitboxes of this mech based on its concept art. Of course, this could change based on its release, of wherever they decide to put the hardpoints and the hitboxes, but I'm just going off of what I can tell and my inference of my experience with the game. We can see here that they have these large pauldrons. I would guess that this mech could be easily side-torsoed. It would be like a Timberwolf that had LRMs. It's pretty obvious that that is a protruding part of that torso, and it makes it a good target. So these side torsos, I think, will be taken off fairly quickly. Although, it is nice that they are so high up, because you can see with the missiles there that they've drawn in, that it looks like the hard points for the weapons that are equipped inside torsos are going to be fairly high up. We have the missiles up here. One could assume on the energy-based mechs with energies in the side torsos instead of missiles, that let's go back to the standard variant here, that the energy hardpoints will be up here, which will be in line or above the cockpit, and that will be very useful. That would mean that you only have to expose the very top third of your mech over a hill to be able to get a hit, and you could be much more skilled at ridge peeking with it. So the dependent on where those positionings are will be very important on whether this side torsos with additional energy hardpoints are pay to win or not, as what you could do is you could drop everything from your arms, focus entirely on your torsos, put laser vom into there, and just barely peek over, and people who have purchased the additional packages would be able to peek over starting at this line, where people that have not purchased would have to get to clear their arms, which would be much more of your mech in view, and it would take much longer for your mech to go up and then go back down again, and you would take more damage. So it's a troubling point there. Now, this could get, say, stalker treatment as well, with the side torsos bulging out here to cover part of this sort of protruding center torso. But without that, this mech is pretty much not going to be able to torso twist and shield from its opponent, as this protruding CT here, if it is CT, will be very easily targeted from the side. So it's another sort of strike against it, that it's, from what it looks like, unless its hitboxes are made so that the side torsos cover everything practically, it's going to be very easy to CT from whatever angle you find it at. Let's see here. Let's go through the rest of my checklist here. I think that's everything. And now I'm just going to give my opinion on the mech and whether or not it is to buy with money, buy with C-bills, or skip it. I personally don't think this is one that would be warranted to purchase with money. I think it's got many problems with it. It's got these large side torsos that could become large hitboxes and make it easy to kill. Specifically, like as well with the center torso being possibly easy to hit from many angles and not able to shield very effectively. It's a very low pod space because of its vastly over-enginedness. It could easily gain back 5 or 6 tons out of its engine and only lose a handful of kilometers an hour and still do the exact same thing that it was hoping on doing, but way more effectively. Unfortunately, that's the engine it comes with, and we're not able to change it, unlike if this was, say, a 2C. I think this mech is going to end somewhere between buying for C-bills, if you're interested in a fast flanking heavy that could do mass energy, mass small lasers, or medium pulse, or something like that, and maybe like the flanking heavy with either those energies or some SRMs to back it up. But you could also do the exact same thing with things that are already in the game. You can purchase a Stormcrow, which will be moving at the exact same speed, and you can get pretty much exactly the same hardpoints, and the Splat Crow with 5 ASRM6s is very strong, and the Stormcrow can get like 11 or 13 energy hardpoints. I haven't looked at it exactly. Some of the arms can carry ridiculous quantities, and it's going to have more pod space than this. The only benefit that this will have is its weight, which will mean slightly more armor due to a higher max, and that would probably be it. It would not be something you would probably want to incorporate into a drop deck, because you could do the exact same thing with something that's lighter, so you could liberate more tons to get into a different mech that was more powerful. And so yeah, I would say that if you like the concept of a fast flanking heavy, buy for C-bills. And if you like the concept but don't really want it in a heavy, get a Stormcrow. But that would be my opinion on should you buy the Linebacker. I hope to do these for all of the mechs that come out, and possibly to go back in retrospect and do it for all the mechs that are in these singular packages. So from Urban Mech down. I probably wouldn't do it for the large packages. Maybe I would. I don't know yet. I haven't decided. But I'm hoping that this, as a sort of a trial video, see if people like the concept of me doing this. And yeah, thank you for watching, and good hunting.